Right, I decided to make a video instead because it will be easier to explain that way. You see, here's the problem. I want this room to spawn NPCs from this bag whenever it finds a character inside of it. So let's say players have characters in these rooms. So there are 26 of these rooms, and only in these rooms there are 2 characters. So what I want the code to do is to check every single room, find the characters in them, and then spawn NPCs on these plates. Also, I only want it to spawn if there are no tokens here. So if there are no tokens here and a character in the room, it will first put one of these here so that it won't spawn it again there and spawn NPCs here again when it goes into the NPC phase. And I managed to do this. So what I've done is I have this represent the room. This represents the zone where to check for the token, and these are the zones where they place the NPC later. Okay, so let's say this person stands here and he ends his turn, and now you are going into the NPC phase. Bam. Okay, so it works. It sees that he's in there, the token comes flying, puts it in there. So if I try to do it again, it doesn't work because it checks if there's a token here, and it is, so it won't spawn anymore of the NPCs. But my problem here, the only way I understand how to do this is to make this code right here and multiply it by 26 times, which is, I mean, it's feasible, you can do it, but it just seems so impractical to do that way. So, copy, paste 26 times, go over every single one of these and put in a new number, spawn room 1, spawn room 2. So I was thinking maybe there's something a function that can repeat this and then just change the values of these, because then it will go from room 1 to room 2 to room 3 and do the problem I have with for loops that I've tried to play around with is that if it checks, let's say I have a character here and a character here, in a for loop it will go over every single room and then find 1, 2 characters, and then it will place 2 tokens in this room, 2 tokens in this room, 2 NPCs on this zone, 2 NPCs on this zone, 2 NPCs, you get it, and 2 NPCs there, 2 NPCs there. So the problem, for loops will work with one figure, because it will find the room that has, it will go over every single room, then find it, and then it will spawn there. But as soon as you introduce another figurine, it will execute the function as a double function for both rooms. So if I introduce a third character, it will find these rooms and then place 3 tokens, 3 tokens, 3 tokens. So essentially my question is there a command that will repeat this code, this function here, repeat this function, but exchange the value of some of these? That's essentially my question, because I saw somewhere that you could write something like this, VGP1 equals VGP1, and then somewhere, whatever, somewhere maybe here you will go VGP1 equals VGP1 I think it was something like this, or -1, maybe -1, where you could essentially give it a value and then add or subtract from that value. and then you write something like until VGP equals -26, because it's 26 rooms. I hope that clarifies something about the questions. I thought I could go over the code a little bit also. Spawn bag is essentially the NPC bag that has NPC characters within them with a finite number and different kinds. So, because I didn't want it to be infinite, because the board game in real life will not have infinite number of figurines. The standard token bag is this one, which will be placed on the warp grid panel, which is the VGP1. Spawn room 1 is the zone for the room. And like I said, VGP1 stands for this warp grid panel, but think of it as a panel, room panel. Then you have spawn plates, which are these, and they represent these icons, which is coded as a table, and then a loop for them. So it goes over each one. And then the function basically just checks if the warp grid panel has a standard token on it. If not, it will look inside the zone and check if there's more than one object here, which will probably exchange for like a tag of figurine or something in the future. I just had to make a quick way to code this, and then it takes object from the standard token bag, places it on the warp grid panel zone, then it randomizes the NPCs inside the NPC bag, and then execute a placement on each of these if there are less than 0 on them. Hopefully someone can help me with this. Thank you very much. I'm almost completely new to coding, and I'm just going off from guides and tutorial, which is probably why this may be a mess, because I don't always understand the function of them. I just know that this is what I have to use to make something happen. Yeah, that's it.